Hey guys, it's Liz and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the chilling case of Arizona's most infamous killer, Jodi Arias. But before we hop into this case, if you haven't already, please check out episode 2 of Killers Across the US, where we talk about Alaska's most notorious killer, Butcher Baker. Travis Alexander was born on July 28, 1977. He grew up in sunny California with his father until he was about 8 years old when his father unfortunately passed away. He then moved to live with his grandparents along with his 7 other siblings. As Travis got older, he would get a job as a salesman and a motivational speaker at a company called Prepaid Legal Services, or PPL. Now, Jodi Arias was born on July 9th, 1980, and she also grew up in California and lived with her mother and father, along with a younger sister. She attended school up until the 11th grade when she dropped out. Jodi was an aspiring photographer who worked jobs up until she got a role as a salesperson also at PPL. Now, Jodi and Travis met in 2006 at a work conference in Las Vegas. Jodi then switched to the same church that Travis had gone to, and she was also baptized by him on November 26th of 2006. Jodi and Travis would begin dating in February of 2007, and soon Jodi also moved to Mesa, Arizona to live closer to Travis. However, in April of 2008, Jodi then moved back in with her grandparents in California. Now, Jodi and Travis's relationship would be on and off for around a year and a half consistently, always keeping things long distance, and each of them would take turns visiting one another. It had gotten to a point where Travis had gotten into a new relationship, and he would still text Jodi on the side in secret. Now, Travis's friends, who also live out in Arizona, once they got to know Jodi, absolutely did not like her one bit. They said that their relationship was completely unusual and her behavior was very worrying. Now, on the evening of June 4th is when Travis would miss a very important conference call. Now, on the following day, Jodi met a man by the name of Ryan Burns in Salt Lake City for a conference meeting. However, Byrne took a few notes that her appearance was quite unusual. Her natural blonde hair was now dyed brown, along with her having multiple cuts all over her hands. Essentially, to sum it up, homegirl was looking rough. And on June 6th, she left she sells by the seashore. That's where this is heading. And on June 6th, she left Salt Lake City and headed back to her home in California. Now, during the drive back home, she would proceed to call Travis 4 separate times and leave him 4 separate voicemails. Although I don't really know why she even bothered calling him, because she knows he's not gonna pick up. Now, once Jodi returned the rental car that she was driving, it was reported that it was driven a grand total of 2,800 miles. It was completely missing the flood mats, and it had red stains all over the front passenger seat along with the rear seat. And unfortunately, since it was a rental car, the car was obviously cleaned right after she had turned it in, so no DNA could be collected and analyzed. Now, on June 9th is when a few friends would grow concerned as days have gone by and they still have not been able to contact Travis. So the group of them decided to... Hello? We good? Okay. So a group of his friends decided to all get together and investigate what was going on. So they had gotten a hold of his roommates and they had claimed that they had also not seen Travis for days, but they were also under the assumption that he was out of town at the time, probably doing a work conference. Now, after a while of searching, the group was able to find the key that unlocked Travis's bedroom. So the group entered into his room, and what they saw was absolutely horrifying. They unfortunately found pools of blood leading up to the hallway of the bathroom. And on the floor in the shower was where they found Travis. Now, one of the girls who was too scared to go into the room had ended up calling 911, and here's a clip of that phone call now.
What's going on?
A friend of ours is dead in his bedroom. We hadn't heard from him for a while. We think he's dead. His roommate just went in there and said there's lots of blood. I didn't go in, but I can give you the phone to someone who went in there.
Yes, please, can you?
Hello.
Hi, so what's going on?
He's dead. He's in his bedroom.
Okay.
In the shower.
Okay. How did this happen? Do you have any idea?
No, we have no idea. Everyone's been wondering about him for a few days.
She said that there was blood. So is it coming from his head? Did he touch his head?
It's all over the place.
Is there any weapons around?
No, I don't know. Not that I saw.
How many people are in the house?
How many are in the house right now? Just the 5 of us? 5 of us.
Okay, I need all of you outside.
Okay.
Now, when police had arrived on the scene, they found a digital camera that had recently been purchased, just tossed in the washing machine. They were able to recover the photographs and discovered that Jodi and Travis had been together and had taken pictures around 1:40 p.m. on June 4th. And the final photograph that showed Travis alive was taken at 5:29 p.m., which showed him in the shower. And the next photo of him that was taken just moments later showed him bleeding profusely on the bathroom floor. Now, a bloody handprint was also found on the wall of the bathroom, which contained DNA from both Travis and Jodi. In total, Travis had accumulated 27 stab wounds, a slit throat, and a shot to the head. Now, given all of the evidence that the police had given all of the evidence that the police had accumulated, they instantly knew that Jodi was obviously the killer. So that same day, police went over to Jodi's grandparents' house where she was staying still, and they took her back with them to the police station. And she was questioned by police for 2 whole days, and the whole time she just was completely lying and making up stories and just denying that she had absolutely anything to do with Travis's murder. And during her interrogation, she had come up with like so many different stories that was just completely outlandish and literally insane. One of which being that 2 intruders just randomly broke into their home and just completely annihilated Travis and for some reason spared her life. Which of course is obviously just completely false. And after 2 days of that interrogation, she would be charged with first-degree murder. And proceedings began for this trial on December 10th of 2012, where her behavior throughout the entire thing was just completely erratic.
Who does that? Who comes in and stands there?
And captivated the attention of social media everywhere. Throughout the whole thing, she would just continue to just change her story of what happened. First saying that she was acting in self-defense after Travis had hit her for dropping his camera. And then she had also claimed that she wasn't even in Mesa, Arizona at the time, which, honey, there's literal pictures of you with him. You can't, like, she's delusional. She's crazy. And she would also have these, like, dramatic breakdowns while giving her testimonies. But especially during the cross-examinations, she would just sob.
Ma'am, were you crying when you were shooting him?
I don't remember.
Were you crying when you were stabbing him?
I don't remember.
How about when you cut his throat? Were you crying then?
I don't know.
So take a look then. And you're the one that did this, right?
Yes.
And you're the same individual that lied about all this, right?
Yes.
So then take a look at it.
So they also ended up having 2 psychiatrists come and analyze her behavior. And the first one said she had suffered with stress, blackouts, and PTSD. And the second one said she was absolutely not a victim of abuse, and that she never had PTSD, but instead suffered with borderline personality disorder. And Jodi was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And she was also ordered to pay roughly around $32,000 to all of Travis's siblings. And in total, her entire trial cost roughly around $3 million. Holy shit. And Jodi Arias will live out the rest of her life in Perryville State Women's Prison in Goodyear, Arizona. So that was a deep dive into the crazy and absolutely insane mind of Jodi Arias, which is Arizona's most infamous killer. Let me know what you guys think about this case in the comments. I think this lady is batshit crazy. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! On the drive back, oh my, I gotta cut this off. I'm gonna freaking go insane. Jesus.